student knew that I was helping them to cross the border. And they were telling one another, this house was a safe house. They used to come. That time it was a 4-roomed house. They used to come, my mom will accommodate them. They will sleep under the tables, everywhere. Put the chairs on the tables and, you know, make themselves comfortable until I come. That day, it was the last day for us to leave because the police were starting now to look for me. So we were 16. It was myself, my brother, my younger brother, he is here at home, and my cousin, and the other student. And the other driver who was helping me to drive. Remember, I was driving without a license, and we were helping one another on the way. It was a VW Volkswagen that we were traveling with. So at the border gate, when we reached there, it was already late. Before we even reached the border gate, somewhere along the outskirts, in the bush, the police, we just saw a big torch. You know, we were stopped by a big torch, which confused us. We stopped. Then I told the student that they mustn't say anything, I'll talk. When the police came, I told the police that we are lost. We are going for a vacation in Amsterdam. We are just students. They say, no, we know, you lie. We know where you are going. You're going to Swaziland, you're going to train as terrorists and come back and kill the whites. Then I kept quiet. They took us to a filthy, most filthiest prison at Amsterdam. It was the Amsterdam police station. They took us there for a night. We never slept. I was standing, and we were divided by a small wall. The boys were that side, I was this side.
We were now going to be charged, and we were all going to court in a truck. And Paulina was driven by a car, and we met at the court. We met at the court, and there she was, the only woman amongst all these 11 men. And we had known who Paulina was. We had known what she had been doing. We had known who she was working with. She was part of the underground. She was part of the people that we were working with in the underground. But, you know, she was the only woman. And we were in this, I remember, I think it was at that court, in Pretoria, the court in Pretoria, the old synagogue in Pretoria. And we met, we went to a room where we had to consult with our lawyers. Arthur Chaskalson, the late judge, Chief Justice, was our lawyer. With Raymond Tucker, with the he was a very young fellow at that time. When we met, Paulina was actually singing some hymns. She was with a tiny little voice, singing some hymns. But she had also been affected by staying on her own, entirely on her own. We were able to meet, we were able to communicate. Occasionally, even though we were in single cells, but you know, we could communicate. She was entirely on her own, with absolutely nobody to talk to. As a woman, it was extremely difficult because there were very, very few and very fine between women in the political prison environment. So Paulina was totally isolated, totally. And when we met, she had gone through a very difficult time.
The police with a big truck van, I don't know what to call it, a big one. They came, they fetched us there. Inside there, it was still. There was no carpet, no mat, nothing. We were just thrown in that truck. The windows were small, down up there. We didn't know where we were traveling to. We were, hitting one another like this inside the truck. It was a long, long journey. They never stopped anywhere for us to maybe pee, release ourselves or whatever. And then, thank God, we never pressed until they reached the Krugersdorp prison. We didn't know where we were. We were told later that we were at Krugersdorp prison. They took me out to women cells and they were left with the boys. Whilst we were staying there, they started taking us one by one. They took me to Krugersdorp, 4th floor, special branch of offices, interrogation of offices. I was taken there. I was then asked questions. And then they let me write a statement. They tear that statement and threw it in my face and say, you are playing, you are not serious. You are writing rubbish. That's what they told me. And then they started now to torture me. They heated me. I saw a black umbrella. They put it on my head. It was, shaking me like this. I was shaking. My body was shaking all over like that. And, I was like I don't know how to explain, a cat. I don't know what to say, because I was shaking. When I tried to run this way, they put me this way, and they put it all over my body, the electric umbrella. They heated me with a ruler. And then thereafter, they blindfolded my face. And they continuously hit me, asking me questions to say that one of my comrades who I work with is arrested. I'm still playing. They even show me a big album. That album, I saw Tokyo Sekwale, I saw Nalezi, I saw most comrades who I was working with, and most of them, they're from this area.
She was a great inspiration. The reason why she was a great inspiration was due to the fact that she was a woman who was engaged in combat underground. As an underground MK soldier and a woman. that wasn't a very common thing at that point in time in our lives. Yes, a lot of women subsequently joined Umkhonto Wesizwe and all the rest, but Paulina was one of our era's pioneering women spirits. Very brave, very courageous, and yet very humble. One of the humblest people you can ever meet. So that was Paulina Mohale. All of us really loved her. All of us. Bafana, Stole, Masinga, Rola Masinga, Prajo, Gavi, Ndaden Chabeli, Ndati, the old man Ramukhadi. She was something, a flower, a beautiful flower in our hands. And it was very important that, because she had been alone for so long, it was very important that we make her feel comfortable. When she goes back to her women's cell alone, she must go back with courage and strength. And she did.
In the 16th of June 1976, ne ke le mo ntle mo ke bona bana ba sekolo ba pere di-uniform tsa sekolo ba le ba kakang ba le bangata hampe bana bao ba tla ka saeteng le ba thotse ba le tu ntho e mmakatsang ha ke re se ke bona Paulina o driver khumbi e jwanong how ha ke re matsatsi a ntse a tsamaya ke bona Paulina ke o driver khumbi ele e laisitse bana how ke Paulina mos o tsamaile Paulina nne wa khutla hape o tlo laisa ba bang bana nna ke rata o bona hore motho o ke nnete ke Paulina ene ke ena o tlo laisa ba bang wa ba laisa o ba isa auro ba isa ka Paulina ke tsebe bana ba e ya bofelo e brother o a hae o monnyane ha ke ikwa walla David o re Paulina wa ntsia this time ke lo iplaya ke tsamaya le wena tsamaile le Paulina ke re o ba tsamaile bana ba kana younger brother wa Paulina ena sa ya ile a ke mo tsebile kae o ile a thile exile o ile morao ha mo he ke ha ba tlo ntsia ba ntshwara he a ke se bangisha kae ha re fitla mo re fitleng teng o mongwe o re ke mo John Foster Square mo John Foster Square ke mo go dirwang eng a re o tshwere wena ke tshwere ke dileng wa se bua nnete ha o tswe ka o phela ka mo ba nkenya mo lifting le lift ke ya ko dimo kwa o mo ke mo 10th floor John Foster Square a re wa bona mabotana a ka re ke a bona a re bona magapha a madi go no le magapha a madi mo lebotaneng la 10th floor a re wa bona ka re ke a bona o bona ka ra ke sebeking a ra bona gore ke madi ntho tse ka re ke a bona ke madi a re mamela mo wena wa se bue nnete le wena a o ne o tswa o phela ka mo wena
After that, as if it was not enough, the torture that I received from the Special Branch Charge Office, I was taken then to John Foster Square. My clothes were beginning to be torn here. They took me to John Foster Square on the 10th floor. At the corridor, they made me meet my mom. They said to me, you see, we are going to kill your mom because you don't want to tell us where are the guns. You don't want to disclose the fact that the guns, where are they? Where have you put the guns? If I didn't die that day, I don't know what have I, you know, the God that I have, the spirit that was with me that time, it was very, it was a resuscitated spirit because I was about to collapse and die. Then my mom shouted and said, Oscar, meaning, don't be scared, my child. There's nothing here. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing here. She said so. You know, it was like when you give birth to a baby who's not crying, and then the nurses will hit the baby, then the baby will start crying. I just felt like that. Then I woke up, you know, from the death that was, you know, I was out of my body. I was somewhere else. I don't know, I can't explain that. They took me, they took my mom. I don't know where my mom they took to. And then they took me back to Krugersdorp prison. The following day, they brought a Kwela van. They took me to Pretoria Maximum prison, where I was staying. And they said, I'm charged, I'm given a case. The case is the Pretoria 12, the 11 men and 1 woman. I stayed in maximum prison. Sometimes when my mom will come, they will refuse her to come and see me. I was then taken to court with a van and a dog inside, the dog barking at me like this all the way from maximum prison. Where Khosimampur is now. The name of the prison was Pretoria Maximum. Now they changed it to Khosimampur. I was taken to Old Synagogue prison, where I met my defense counsels, and the judge postponed the case. We were brought back. The treatment was not right at the prison. The case started under Judge Davison. The prosecutor was Van Peters. Our defense counsel, it was Ray Tucker and Arthur Chuckleson, who became a judge, and Cooney, and the others. It was a team of them. And then they told us that they were going to defend us. We went and appeared before the judge, and the case went on and on. It was a strenuous and frustrating case I've ever seen. One day the police came to fetch me in the maximum prison. When they came, the dog pooped in the van. They said, get in, we're going to court. I say, can you see, I've bathed myself, regardless I'm bathing in a toilet pot, but look at me. Do you think I can get in there? I'm not going to get there. You can get there yourselves. They said, no. They were holding, whenever they come with more than 6 or 10 cars to fetch me, with their arms, R21 guns and everything. I said, I'm not going to get in that car where the dog pooped. They called the prison convict to come and clean the van. It was wet. I said, I'm still not going to go in there. You can go in there yourselves, not me. They thought I was joking. They wanted to push me. Then I said, you touch me. I'm not going to get in there. Then they put me in the private car. When we reached the police station, the court, the old synagogue, people were looking in the van. They didn't see me. I came out of the car with the police, with my fist lifted up. When I came back, I was no longer myself. I was a nervous wreck. I didn't know how to explain how I was. And my comrades wanted to help me. I went to the bara. I saw the neurologist who was giving me tablet also, who could not diagnose my illness. I never got any counseling. Along the way, there was a white lady by the name of Lisa Williamson. She will pretend as if she was assisting the political prisoners. Sometimes she'll come and invite me for lunch, for tea or something. And one day she said to me, Pauline, if you want to go out because you are not safe here, the police can come and kill you, even your family. It's at risk, because indeed they will come anytime and search our house and also write statement. It was like we are in house arrest. They would always come here and ask me about my social life and write a report and go at random. And whenever they come here, they will come with a fleet of cars. The other point that I forgot to raise is that when I was in John Foster Square, they handcuffed me, and then they put me in a car which has got a dog inside. I was sitting this side, the dog was sitting this side. All the way from John Foster Square to here, with a fleet of cars, more than 10 to 15. The whole street were full of cars. They came here, they searched my house, they left our home in a mess. They will search the drawers, they will put them down, even the stoves. We were using the coal stove then. Everywhere, in the rooms, everywhere. We never had secret in this house.
Well, I did not get the list. Paulina, there were 12 of us accused. 6 got released, 6 got convicted. And that was a miracle for us, because we didn't expect anybody to be released, including Pauline. But that judge, Justice Mayberg, knowingly released the 6, knowing that they had been part of us, but he was sympathetic to our struggle. Justice Mayberg. But it was a joyous day. When we were convicted, the 6 of us, and 6 were released, that for us was a joyous day. We did not expect, Justice Mayberg sent his court clerk down to the cells to go and find out what we think about the sentence. And we told the clerk, we are, in fact, Arthur Chaskalson warned us, don't show any excitement, just be calm. I don't think he's going to give you the death. We were expecting that Tokyo's Juan and I were going to get the death sentence. But he told us, not this judge. It's not going to give you the death sentence. He felt confident. The first judge for us to appear in front of was Justice Boshoff. He was called the hanging judge. And had we appeared before Juboltov for the trial, we would have most definitely been hung. Tokyo and I, at least, would have been sent to the death sentence. But Justice Mayberg was, he actually, in his summation, he actually spoke about the struggle of the Afrikaners against the English, and said, and quoted Justice Solomon, not the rotten Justice Solomon of South Africa, but Justice Solomon in America, on the power of mercy, and said, I am not going to sentence anybody to death, especially young people who are fighting for their liberation. He just shocked everybody, Justice Mayberg. He was so correct. And we thanked him for his judgment, which was very, very politically strong, because he said the Afrikaners fought against the English. There is apartheid, it's an oppressive system against the black people. It is not a surprise young people are fighting against it. There's an old man here of 67, that was Nadira Mohale. I don't even know how to sentence him, because he has been in jail for 10 years. But I have to sentence him because he isn't guilty. But he is fighting for justice, and he's not giving up. And these young people are following their example. They're not going to stop until they have got freedom, which they don't have. Justice, that was one of the best judgments you could find anywhere in the world. Justice Mayberg was a member of the South African apartheid institutions, but he was a man of integrity. In short, let me just summarize by saying, Paulina, a brave woman, a great soldier, neglected post-liberation, as were a great number of the Pretoria 12 people. It's a pity that is still the case to this day. She deserved better. She had worked for it. I hope somebody will wake up and assist Paulina and those she was with, and others like them.